that formally authorizes the project and outlines its key details, the purpose, objectives, scope, then the stakeholders that are there, and high level budget, of course.
Document where project managers details out how they are going to execute the project, right? It includes your schedules, your resources.
Up next, and any issues or risks that need attention, so that they keep everyone in the loop and help maintain transparency. These are different, and that is why like the communication strategy is also maybe different. Ensure regular check-ins because that can help keep stakeholders informed and engaged and get their feedback regularly.
Yeah, that's great point. So now let's move to deliverables.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Tech Samvad, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of technology and project management. Have you ever wondered what it takes to deliver a successful project? What are the key things that project managers need to focus on to ensure their projects cross the line with flying colors? Well, you are in the right place. Welcome to Tech Samvad, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of technology. In this episode, we are going to unravel the top deliverables that every project manager should have on their radar. So whether you are a seasoned PM or just starting out, stay tuned because the insights we'll be sharing could be the difference between project success and failure. So let's jump right into it. I'm Pramesh.
Hello everyone, and I'm Shalin. And today, what we are going to discuss that what are the crucial aspects of our successful project management, which will be our top deliverables that project managers need to focus on.
Absolutely, deliverables are like the lifeblood of any project, right? So they are the tangible and intangible outputs that move into a project towards its objective.
That's right, Pramesh. And for our listeners, and some population of our listeners can be new project or budding project managers. So let's chalk out what are the delivers they need to focus on, and so that they can focus on.
Yeah, so sure. So deliverables are the specific outputs produced during the project that contribute to achieving the project's overall goals, basically. So they can be anything from a physical product, a software application, a marketing campaign, to a set of recommendations or a training program even.
Yeah, so basically deliverables are essentially the building blocks of projects, right? So the things we create to reach our end goal or objective of the project.
Exactly. And clearly defining and tracking these deliverables is one of the most important responsibilities of a project manager. It provides clarity and alignment for the entire project team when they do it correctly.
That makes sense. So, what would you say are some of the top deliverables that every project manager should have on their radar?
I think that's a great question. So, let's start with the project charter, which is the first thing, right? So, this is a document that formally authorizes the project and outlines its key details, the purpose, objectives, scope, then the stakeholders that are there, and high level budget, of course, timeline which is there. So it's like the foundation on which the entire project is built. So the project charter is fundamental to everything. It's like the foundation of a house. So without it, everything can become chaotic. So it outlines the project's purpose and everything that flows into each stages, right?
Yeah. So project charter not only clarifies the goal, but also helps in aligning stakeholders also, right? And it is very crucial deliverable right at the start of the project. And setting the direction and getting everyone on the same page. What should project managers ensure when creating a charter?
They should make sure it includes key stakeholders, outlines the project goals clearly, and defines the scope and boundaries of the project. It's also essential to get buy-in from all the stakeholders early on to avoid any roadblocks later on, right? And that is why the project charter is the first thing that we need to concentrate on. Now, if we talk about the next one, we have the project management plan. So this is a comprehensive document that describes how the project will be executed, monitored, and controlled. So it covers all the key management areas like scope, schedule, cost, then quality, resources, communication, and then risk and, of course, procurement that way.
Yeah. And this is the document where project managers details out how they are going to execute the project, right? It includes your schedules, your resources, your risk, associated risk, and how to handle those risks. I mean, risk management. Then it includes communication plan also. So it sounds like a lot, right? It's a living document. It has everything. And I imagine creating the project plan is a significant deliverable in itself and most important deliverable also, right? And so, Pramesh, let's discuss what are some tips for crafting an effective project plan document.
Yeah, so it is definitely like a big deliverable, right? But it's worth the effort because a well-crafted project management plan can
Hmm.
prevent a lot of issues down the line. So it's the roadmap that guides the project from start to finish. So PMs can and should involve their team in the planning process. This is only like not only helps in gathering insights, but also boosts the team morale since everyone feels included and part of the team. Additionally, they should remain flexible. Plans may need adjustments as the project progresses because there's always changes in the project as we have talked so many times.
Yeah, flexibility is the key for success, right? So let's move on for next one. So what about deliverables that help break down the project into manageable pieces?
Well, there you have it, like in your words itself. That's where the work breakdown structure or WBS comes in, right? So the
Mhm.
WBS is like the hierarchical composition, decomposition of the total scope of work, right? So breaking the bigger chunks into smaller, manageable components. And WBS helps in organizing and defining the total scope of the project that way.
I can see how that would make the project less overwhelming and more achievable. Yes.
Definitely. And as the project progresses, like another key deliverable is the project schedule. So this is a detailed timeline that shows the sequence of activities and their respective durations, dependencies, and of course the resources. So it's a very critical tool for tracking progress and managing your expectations that way.
And I'm guessing this schedule would be constantly updated as the project moves forward.
Oh, absolutely. Like the schedule is a living document. So that needs to be regularly updated based on actual progress and any changes in the project that occur.
So, Pramesh, what about the deliverables that keep stakeholders informed about the project's progress?
So that is where our project status reports come in, right? So these are regular updates that provide information on what has been accomplished, what's coming up next, and any issues or risks that need attention. So that they keep everyone in the loop and help maintain transparency. So status reports keep stakeholders informed about the project progress. They should be like, the people should be regular in their updates and they should be structured. The report should be structured. And these reports should highlight the accomplishments, the upcoming tasks that are there, and any challenges and risks that the team may be foreseeing.
So, do you want to recommend any some or provide any tips for maintaining this effective status reports?
See, Shalin, like consistency is the key here. Like the project manager should establish a schedule for these reports and ensure that they are concise. Using visuals like graphs can make them like make the data instead of writing them like if you put them in data form, it is more digestible. And more importantly, like be honest about any setbacks.
Transparency builds trust, right? So,
Hmm.
let's move on for the next one. So, how about deliverables themselves? How to handle it?
So deliverables are the tangible outputs of the project, right? So they need to be clearly defined in the project plan and their quality should be maintained throughout the project lifecycle.
Any suggestion for having a strategy to ensure deliverables are being met with high quality?
Of course, like implementing a quality management plan is crucial. So regularly review and test the deliverables and help catch issues early. Also gather feedback from all the stakeholders because that can provide valuable insights for improvements and not wait for the last minute.
So basically, communication really seems to be a key theme here.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. So, effective communication is critical for project success, right? And many of the key deliverables, like the project charter, project management plan, status reports, they are essentially like communication tools.
Okay, so now let's move on to some very crucial aspect of the project management, which is here is risk, which is how to handle risk and how to mitigate, which is risk management plan.
Exactly. So, projects have risk. We all know that. A solid risk management plan identifies potential risks and outlines mitigation strategies. So, it's like having an insurance policy for your project, basically.
So, what are the key factors which project managers need to consider when developing a risk management plan?
So basically, like they should focus on identifying both the high probability and high impact risks. So understand like there are two different categories that we're talking about here. Also regularly update the risk register throughout the project lifecycle because that is very essential to ensure that the new risks are accounted for and old risks are addressed, because risk like also change as our project changes.
So speaking of feedback here, so the stakeholder engagement plan is another critical deliverables, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like engaging stakeholders throughout the project is vital for our project success. So the stakeholder engagement plan outlines how and when the stakeholders will be involved.
Okay. And any suggestion or tips for creating stakeholder management plan?
Well, they should identify all stakeholders, obviously, assess their influence and interest in the project, and tailor communication strategies accordingly. Because not every stakeholder is same, so their needs are different, and that is why like the communication strategy is also maybe different. Ensure regular check-ins because that can help keep stakeholders informed and engaged and get their feedback regularly.
Yeah, that's a great point. So now let's move to deliverables towards the end of the project.
Yeah, so as the project nears completion, right, a key deliverable is the project closure report, right? So this document formally closes the project and provides a summary of the project's performance. So the closure report basically includes lessons learned and any recommendations for future projects that may be there. So this is often like overlooked, but this is a very important document that way. So the project closure report summarizes the project's success, lessons learned, and areas for improvement. And that is why it is very important that we actually complete this at the end of every project.
Yeah. So it is not just about delivering the final product in a particular project, but also about learning from the project and improving for the next time, right? So what key elements should we include in the report?
Yeah, so continuous improvements, as we have talked about, is a big part of project management, right? And the lessons learned from each project can be invaluable like, for the future successes. So it should be highlighting whether the project met its objective, a breakdown of the final budget that came to it, and what was your planned budget. So final budget versus planned budget, that should be the recommendations for you, and then based on those, like have recommendations for your future projects also. So that way, like it's an excellent way to capture knowledge for the organization for the future projects.
Yeah. So basically, for our user, this discussion, I'm pretty confident this discussion will be very insightful. So let's recap for our listeners and our users. So some of the top project management deliverables we have covered in this discussion is let's start from the beginning, right? Our project charter, then project management plan, then work breakdown structure, then your deliverables of the project itself, and then risk management plan, then stakeholder management, then project schedule, project status report, then project closure report.
Yeah, that's a great summary, Silent. Like, of course, every project is unique, we know that, and may have its own specific deliverables. But these are some of the key ones that are common across most projects.
Absolutely. And the key takeaway seems to be defining, tracking, and communicating about these deliverables is a crucial part of the project manager's role.
Yeah, absolutely. So you are spot on, Shalin. So by focusing on these deliverables, the project managers can keep their projects on track and ensure everyone is actually aligned. So ultimately, like they need to deliver the successful outcome of that, right?
So, that wraps up our discussion for today. And thank you so much for sharing your insight, Ramesh. And I'm pretty confident our users will like it and they will learn from it.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, Shalin. So, and thank you to all our listeners for tuning in. Remember, successful projects are built on well-managed deliverables. So until next time, we'll meet you.
Yeah, that's a good point, Ramesh. Until next time, we will meet with you guys with another topic. Till then, goodbye. Take care.
Bye.